Hello guys, in this module we are going to start with a new chapter, and the name of the chapter is current electricity. As we know that, what do you mean by current? Current means something which is flowing, like current news. Now we need to understand that here, this whole chapter where the charges are going to be flow, how we need to understand this particular part, let's see in this particular module. Now the very first thing which we need to understand in our first module, which is module 1a, we will try to understand the definition of free electrons, and we will also see the classification on the basis of free electron. Now look here, when it comes to the free electron, what do you mean by free electron? Basically, when you see the word free, means free from all the duties. So there are electrons who are actually moving around a nucleus. But if these electrons are not moving around the nucleus, we call them free. So this here, when it comes to the definition, we say electrons that escape the circular orbit of an atom because of weak electrostatic force of attraction. Now what we need to understand, that when we talk about electron who is moving around the nucleus, and definitely we can see the nucleus is having proton and neutron. Proton is something which is having a positive charge, and neutron is electrically neutral. So basically, positive is the net charge of our nucleus and electron is negative. There is some kind of an attractive force between them, because we know that unlike charges always attract each other. But if this attractive force between the two is not very strong, which is basically means the electrostatic force over here, if this electrostatic force is not strong, then this electron will set itself free. What do you mean by free? Free from the duty. The duty of an electron is to revolve around the nucleus, but when the electron is not performing its duty, we call it free. Here we have taken a single isolated atom, but we know that in a wire there are billions of atoms. And that is the reason, when you have billions of an atom, that means there will be billions of free electron. So there will always be huge number of free electron present in a wire. Now when we talk about how exactly, which are the elements we have in the periodic table where this electrostatic force is weak. Now let me tell you, all the elements which are having very few electrons in their outermost shell, like 1, 2 or 3, they are having a very weak electrostatic force over there. That's the reason when it comes to the metals, you will normally find in metals we have 1, 2 or 3 electron present in the outermost shell, or you can say valence shell. On the other side, when we talk about non-metals, in the outermost orbit you will find there is 5, 6, 7. These are the number of electrons which are present, and that is the reason the electrostatic force is very strong. So when you see it over here, when you say that less number of electron in the outermost shell, what it means? That means that weak electrostatic force of attraction. So this is how we need to understand the free electrons theory over here. Now when we actually try to classify it, the classification on the basis of free electron, now let's see how exactly this free electron theory can be explained on the basis of metals, non-metals and semiconductor. Or you can say conductors, insulator and semiconductor. Now we have got an idea about the free electron theory. Now look here, when it comes to conductors, what we can say, object having large number of free electrons, definitely we call them a good conductor. And that is the reason all the metals which we have in the periodic table, they are good conductors. On the other side, when you talk about insulator, here definitely the free electrons are going to be very less, or you can say that there will be no free electron. When we take an example over here, you can say that it is wood, plastic, glass, rubber. These are the material which we call them insulator. Now this is something semiconductor which falls in between conductor and insulator. And let me tell you, semiconductor is one particular material which is having a huge application when it comes to the electronic circuit. So here what we have, here is actually the point, the very important point is that you can control the free electron. So when you talk about semiconductor, object having no free electrons but can be generated. But how? By providing some heat, or you can say thermal energy. So by providing a small amount of thermal energy, they can be free electrons which can be produced over here. That's the reason the material which is having a very huge scope of application in electronic circuit, it's actually semiconductor. If you have to take an example of semiconductors, silicon and germanium are the two examples which we need to know, and this is what we need to understand in this module. Thank you.